So does Mr. Putin seek to rebuild the USSR? I do not agree with the perception that Mr. Putin is trying to rebuild the USSR. The USSR was a communist structure. It was a communist nation state. There was communism, there was the collectivization, and so on and so forth. Mr. Putin doesn't want to reintroduce communism into Russia. What he's trying to rebuild is what we would in India call AKHAND Russia, which is very different from the USSR, because Russia has its own distinctive culture. It has Orthodox Christianity, which is very different from Western Christianity. Right? It's very, very different. It's very traditional. Russian values are very different. Russia is not part of the West. Russia is not a Western nation. It's more of an Eastern nation. It's more of at a crossroads between East and West. So what Mr. Putin is maybe seeking to do is expand Russia's sphere of influence, bring more territories into his under his control, territories which were historically part of the Russian Empire or part of the USSR. But he's not recreating the USSR. He's creating a stronger, greater Russia, Akhand Russia, what you could say. So that essentially is what he's doing, and he's trying to keep NATO and the Americans away from what he believes, what Russia has traditionally seen as its sole sphere of influence, where nobody else is allowed to encroach. So that is what he is doing. Can it be considered invasion? Of course, it's an invasion. You know what's funny? When the Russians invade a country, when the Russian army moves into a country, it's called an invasion. When the US army moves into a country, whether it's Iraq, whether it's anywhere else, it's called liberation. It's not an invasion, it's liberation. We are bombing democracy into you. That's what we are doing. And when the British army moves somewhere, it's called civilization. We are civilizing you all. So when the West does it, it is either liberation or civilization. When Russia does it, it's an invasion. This is how they portray everything. When you have a Russian billionaire, he or she is called an oligarch. When you have an American billionaire, he's called a billionaire, a business magnate, a tycoon, but not an oligarch. What is this? So that's how everything is spun around.